Guy Ray Aroma, all the way from Fort Lauderdale, Broward County. Currently, I'm living in Atlanta, Georgia. Right now, I'm walking through the park, and his car is driving beside me. But just to give y'all a little backstory of who I am, I played football all my life from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I live up here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm relocating. I got a clothing brand called I Did It. I'm all over the place right now, but I'm just giving you a little brief information of my background. I went to college, played football for a year and a half. I got hurt. I moved back home to Fort Lauderdale, man, trying to figure out my life. Started cutting grass. I started a mobile detailing service. It was doing pretty good. But you know, Florida, it rains so much, so I got tired of that. A friend of mine reached out to me and said that, hey man, he would love to have me as a foster parent because I coach kids in the neighborhood all my life. Long story short, I was a foster parent. You know, I had to go take my CPR class. I had to go get special classes for that. My challenges from being a foster parent is, you know, the discipline. You know, you can't yell at kids. You can't hit them, obviously. You know, by me not having kids, going to parent meetings, sitting down with caseworkers, psychologists, you know, meeting with teachers. And, you know, by me being in my early 30s at that moment, at that time in life with no kids, it was kind of exciting because it's like, you know what? God is already navigating me through life. You know what I'm saying? So that was a wonderful experience, to be honest. Anyways, I moved up here to Atlanta. I had some challenges being a foster parent. You know, some of my kids, you know, leaving home, staying out late, drinking, you know, finding cigarettes in one of my kids' bags. You know what I'm saying? That really got on my nerve. But long story short, man, I wanted some time to myself. I relocated. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia at that time. Atlanta was amazing. A lot of black successful people here in Atlanta, going to college, pledging, joining the football team, and etc. Right? So I'm out here. I'm clubbing every night. You know what I'm saying? Having a good time. A couple of my friends, they was rappers. And they used to always ask me to come to the studio to help them write a song. Long story short, they was like, hey man, I got a show tonight. I want you to come. I went to one of my boys' show. It was at the club called, what club was that called? It was in East Atlanta. Give me a second, it's gonna come. Chit Chat, Club Chit Chat. I went to Club Chit Chat with a couple of my friends. And I noticed that the younger guys, they have no interpersonal communication skills with women. See, in my time, I'm 39 years old. In my time growing up, we didn't have cell phones, we had pagers. So you had to interact with a female. You know what I'm saying? You would catch her at one or two places. At the skating ring on the weekend, or you would catch her at a Little League football game. And you got to know what to say. You got to have your pen and paper because nobody got a cell phone at that time. But let me get back to the point. I'm up here in Atlanta, man. I'm going to my boy's rap show, right? Okay, so check this out, right? As I noticed, he's talking about bang, bang, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm telling him like, hey man, look, you know what? It's more to talk about in life than violence. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you talk to the ladies? So, you know, long story short, he liked that idea. And they was like, man, why don't you rap? So at first, you know, I'm a stylist guy. You know, when I step out, when I put on clothes and I step out, a lot of people ask me, you know what I'm saying? Hey, are you a rapper? Are you this and that and that and that? And I'm like, nah, man, you know, I'm behind the scenes. But long story short, man, I started writing for my buddies, and then they told me to rap. And I ended up winning a rap contest of a battle of $1,000, man. I came in first place. After that, man, I just saw myself on stage, just like, man, you know, rocking out. And I had a lot of stories. You know, I've been through a lot in my life. I'm from the projects, you know, growing up with no father in the city of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You know, it's a struggle. So with that struggle and my life experiences, I put it on paper, went to the studio, man, I made some hits, right? So, you know, by me, all right, let me take y'all in. I'm jumping back to high school now, all right? In high school, man, I went to this school called Dilla High School, cool school, you know, predominantly black school, right? Now, my grades was good, A's and B's, I paid attention, but I was a ladies' man in high school. So I ain't pay attention as much as I'd supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm a football player and, you know, this and that and that and that, right? So, one of my teachers, Miss Bailey, she said, look, let me tell you something. If you don't pass this FCAT test, you're not gonna graduate high school. So that stuck with me, man. You know, I just wanted to make my mama proud. So long story short, man, I told my mom, hey, mom, look, me staying in this public school, it's a lot challenging for me because you got a standardized test that you have to graduate to pass. And I was just a guy that was all over the place in high school. You know, I didn't really take education too serious, just hanging out with my buddies. You know, like I said, not having a father presence. However, by me wanting to play football gave me the certain discipline because it was like that Xbox game that I couldn't play. So the fact that that I wasn't gonna go to college to play football, that bothered me. So, you know, I buckled down. I was the only black kid in all my classes. I went to American Heritage High School, man, in Plantation, Florida. Man, they showed me so much love, man. And long story short, God, there's just so many stories, right? Long story short, by me going to one of the richest schools in South Florida, you know, by me being a star football athlete of the school, I got a chance to network and politic and make friends with a lot of people who I probably would have never met in my life. Fast forward, 20 years later, I'm still friends with some of my, you know, my rich buddies. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you what I learned about rich people. When you got rich friends that love you and care about you, you don't ever ask your rich friends for money. You don't do that. That's not something you do. What you do is you start a business. When you start a business, they will donate to the business because there will be a write-off. So now you helping them help you. And see, the problem with society nowadays is that sometimes we need help and we mean well, but our paperwork ain't right. The organization, the foundation ain't right. So a lot of times, man, being as young adults, having an undeveloped brain under the ages of 27 years old, you know, without a father presence, man, you all over the place, man, you know? And within that window of, let's just say, from 4 years old to maybe like a teenager, man, pray that you have a praying mama, you know, that teach you, you know, life skills, family love, family values, and things of that nature. I'm really excited to join this YouTube because I got a lot of history and I got a lot of like wisdom that I want to pass down. Because a lot of people listen, what I'm noticing is a lot of brothers my age, they still in party mode. Whether they got kids or not, we like the youngest unks. Like, we the uncles and aunties of this time that still look like we're in our 20s. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, we was the first generation with the technology. You know what I'm saying? We had Black Planet. We had MySpace. You know what I'm saying? When those was going on, there was no such thing as monetization. You know what I'm saying? We had to create our own fun. You know, back in the days, we used to have to go outside, man. Nobody had, you know, people had a big screen TV. You had to put antennas on them. But we had to make our fun, man. We had to go outside. In the projects, we didn't have basketball goals. We had to find a light pole and find a crate, like a milk crate, cut the bottom out of the milk crate, get some nails, drill a wood thing like a backboard, then put the crate on there. Now we shooting in the crate. And man, let me tell you, them are some of the best times. Now we'll play murder ball. Murder ball is when somebody got the ball and they throw it back, boom. And when you throw the ball back, whoever catch it, if they in the grass, they getting hit. But if they in the road, it's two-hand touch. We also had can. Can is when you find a can, he got a can, I got a can, we got a basketball, and we shoot, boom. And if it hit the can, that's 1 point. However, if the can do a flip, that's 2 points. That's like a 3-pointer. You know what I'm saying? Or we'll have the little, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 little jump hopscotch. We had jump rope. Long story short, we was way more active, man. We was way more active than the times nowadays. I think technology really kind of like, it had its good and its bad. I think that kids should definitely be on technology. However, I think that it's the parents, I believe the parents should, you know, they should have a time where they have to be in the sun. A lot of kids are not moving now. They eating sweets all day. Parents are not cooking. Parents are not in the home. Kids are eating sweets all day, not being athletic, not working out. They being home. Now, the good part about it is kids nowadays are being monetized by social media sites, and they're getting paid by, you know, the sponsors that come on their page, and they making a lot of money now. Nowadays, you see a 19 or 21, 22-year-old driving a Rolls Royce, making 30, 40, 50,000 a month. Amazing money. You know what I'm saying? But you got to put that work in. You have to keep grinding and putting that work in day after day after day after day after day. You got to keep going. You got to keep God first. And see, that's the thing. That's the binder. Keeping God first in your life, that's everything. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to skip that step. Some people want to go to college and get a degree. Some people want to get their body right. Some people want to go to the gym. You ain't going nowhere if you don't put God in your life. You know what I'm saying? However, I just want to tell everybody, man, everything ain't for everybody. But if you plan and get your proper amount of resources and you communicate and politic with people, man, you can come together and make some money, man. It's some money. YouTube University is a real thing, man. You can really learn how to become a millionaire. That is the future. YouTube is the now and the future because it's still growing. You know what I'm saying? Just think about this. It's people making money now in 2025 when there's new technology that have came to the stream. Like, it's new technology out here and we experiencing it first. Within a year or 2 or 3, it might be so hard to, you know what I'm saying? We ahead right now. And I advise everybody, man, Humble yourself, write down a plan, and execute. It's time, baby. Ray Aroma, I'm gone.